All right, here we are in Pine View on my way to Brawley. It's just under 100 miles. The elevation looks really good. I got some rollers in the beginning and then some downhill, a lot of downhill because I climbed a lot yesterday. So here we go. All right, I'm looking west. This is the frontage road that I'm on. I just came down this hill and I looked over and I just noticed this fence. I'm assuming that's the border. That's the border wall, possibly. Looking over into Mexico. And you can see, sorry for my poor camera work, you can see it keeps going. So I'm on the border. So I'm 53 miles into the ride today, and it's desert. I should have probably filled water in my bladder. I have a bladder in my frame bag that holds 1.5 liters, and I should have put water in that. There's just a long distance between anything here today. So for tomorrow, I'll definitely do that. I'm about 24 miles to Calexico, and then approximately another 20-25 miles to wherever the place was staying tonight. Forget the name of it. Anyway, it's hot, dry, no shade anywhere, but I'm having fun. Just cruising along on my way to Calexico. A lot of this today. Starting to struggle a little bit. 64 miles in on my third day, and man, it's just like one long 2-lane highway. It goes on forever. I have a headwind. There's absolutely no shade. There's cars that whiz by every once in a while, but it's tough. And the thing is, I woke up this morning in Pine View and there was a gas station and supposedly a restaurant. The restaurant wasn't open. The gas station had terrible black coffee. So I went to a little market, same one that I got my sandwich at last night. Deli wasn't open. Just got a big old bag of trail mix, and that was my breakfast. I'm still eating the trail mix, but I haven't had a real meal. And man, I got like 18 miles to Calexico, so determined to get there. It'll be nice when this section's over. Alright, I'm going to try this for the third time. I'm in Calexico. I got here about an hour ago. I found this great little Mexican food place, had a big old burrito. I was so cracked when I got here, I was a little delirious, and I tried shooting a video before I walked in. And I goofed it up twice, maybe 3 times. Anyway, fueled up now. Got 20 miles to Brawley. Let's do this. So, Brawley to Blythe today. 87 miles and 2,200 feet of climbing. Looks like Most of that's going to happen, well, all of it's going to happen within the first 50 miles or so. There's a border crossing lookout station at the top of that hill there. And there's basically no services in between. I'm getting a little bit earlier start today to try to avoid some of the heat. It's still about 70 degrees right now, but it's not 95, so that's great. I just had breakfast at the hotel, and then I'm gonna stop at Jack in the Box down the street and pick up a bunch of food for the journey, because there's really nothing between. I go through Glamis, but very limited services there. It says you may need to call ahead to make sure that they're open, so I'm definitely not going to count on that. And then Blythe, shortly after Blythe is the Arizona border, but I'm not going to try to tackle that today. I got my sights on Blythe. Things are good. I'm feeling really recovered and refreshed after yesterday. I was totally cracked, but feeling good now. So, motor on. There's a lot of farmland, a lot of, it feels deserty. The people are super nice. It's definitely a place I'd like to travel through, not stay at necessarily, but I'm traveling through, so that's a good thing. My hotel last night, I checked into my hotel. It was a Best Western Plus in Brawley, and they didn't have any single rooms, but they had a double king-size bed room for $210, but the girl behind the register said with my senior discount it would be $188. I said, I'll take it. I told her later that I wasn't a senior. She was a little bit embarrassed, but that's okay. All right, so I'm getting close to Glamis. It looks like Imperial Sand Dunes recreation area. So I'm gonna go right through. I don't think they have any services here. Mighty Colorado River. All right, so made it to Ehrenberg, Arizona last night, or yesterday early. I was gonna stay in Blythe, but it's real close to the Arizona-California border. I thought, why not get over into Arizona? So that's where I'm at. It was 98 miles, something like that. And then today I have a ride that's 111 miles, and there's a lot more services along the way. Getting a nice early start. It's nice and cool right now. But I'm starting out, I have like a 12-mile stretch along the 10 freeway. So that's not ideal. And then after that, along the 60 highway that Adventure Cycling says has a nice wide shoulder. So got my blinky light going, heading out. I got some food with me, lots of water, and I'm looking forward to the day. It's gonna be a good one. 11 and a half more miles of this. I'm feeling sluggish right off the bat today. Well, yesterday wasn't a hard day, but the 2 days before that were super hard. And it's just a combination of everything. My butt's sore, my legs are tired. Last night I was washing my clothes in the shower and my hands kept cramping up super bad. Like, I could not wring out my clothes. But my legs weren't cramping up as bad last night, which they have been until that point. So, straight off. It's a beautiful day. Alright, so I got off the 10 freeway. I'm on Dome Rock Road, and I'm coming into Quartzsite. Maybe I can get something cold to drink. So I've been on the road for 6.5 hours or so. I just had a lunch at a bar/restaurant, and I feel like a little nauseous. Not bad, but a little. That's what I'm looking at, and you know, it hasn't changed that much in several hours. It's the desert. It's hot. It's wonderful. I feel lucky to have this opportunity, but it's also feeling hard. So I have a hotel reserved in Wickenburg, Arizona, and that's about 45 to 50 miles from here. Feels like a lot of miles left to go, but it's really not late. It's like 1:30, 1:45 in the afternoon. So I need to buck up and keep riding. I just came to this realization why I feel this anxiety today. Last couple days, actually. And I think it's because, you know, it feels so desolate, even though there's cars driving by all the time. The stops, the areas that you can stop are not that close. It's closer today than the last couple days. But there's also no shade anymore. So you feel like, or I feel like, you can't stop. Like there's no resting in between. And I'd really like to do that right now. But I'd just be standing on the side of the road in the sun. There's no shade anymore. So I did finally make it to my hotel in Wickenburg. I got a nice shower, had a meal, and it's about 8 o'clock now. I'm going to try to get some sleep. I haven't decided exactly what I'm doing tomorrow. Phoenix/Tempe, Arizona is about 80 miles away, and it looks pan flat from here. So it really depends on the wind and road conditions and really my mental outlook. I am discovering, you know, how important your mind plays in all this. I mean, I knew that before, but it reminds me of last year when I was doing the Tour Divide.
I left during the Grand Depart, and so I was riding with lots of other people, and we would leapfrog each other often, and so it was a good way to build camaraderie and to have conversations and to share experiences, which was awesome. You know, one of my really good friends, Steve O'Shaughnessy, does the My Back 40 podcast, and he's talked about this same thing quite a bit. But I guess what I'm getting at is that, you know, people can be on the same ride and have completely different experiences. You know, your perceived reality can differ vastly from one day to the next, from 1 minute to the next. Sometimes, you know, you get a cold drink in a Snickers bar and all of a sudden it's the greatest day ever, and then, you know, 45 minutes later it's not so good anymore. And it really depends on the circumstances, right? But I think there's real power in not letting your mind control you, you controlling your mind, and you know, accepting when things aren't as easy, and accepting things when they are easy, and realizing that no matter what the circumstances at the moment, it's going to change. So anyway, that's my final thoughts. Starting day 6 tomorrow. Thanks so much.